and welcome to CRKTV. I'm Clem Kennedy and I'm here today with Mike Crick and Matt Bylett. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a product showcase of some of our most popular products and how you can get some very high-end professional results with these products. I've got Mike here to walk me through the technical elements of these products, and we have Matt Bylett, who is a creative director for major motion pictures and television, to take us through some of the creative elements of this short film. Mike, what were some of the products used in the shoot?
We used the GH5 with the Sigma 18 to 35mm art series, the new Zhiyun Crane 2. We also used the Rotolight AEOS quite effectively because we were doing lots of free-floating shots with the crane, so it was a big, long crane movement. And we had to have someone obviously following our subject and following our talent, so the handles there were great because it meant that our lighting guy could basically follow them around. Other than the Rotolight, we also used some Fiilex lights as well, P360s and a few others, as well as some F&V panels, 1x1 panels. Good because we were able to do cool things with them, like mix a few different color temperatures to create a very natural looking scene, and focused on lighting the actual scene before we lit the actual subject, and to create this kind of dynamic between, sort of pockets of light and pockets of shadow. We had a very small kind of crew, and it was really using a lot of the tools that you can get pretty easily and get pretty readily.
What are some of the unique features of the Rotolight that you can't necessarily get with other lighting brands?
Some of the features aren't necessarily unique in and of themselves, in that many lights do what the AEOS does, but not a lot of lights do all of the things that the AEOS does, and that's sort of what's cool about it. Having bicolor, which is fantastic for getting just the right color temperature, and it meant we could kind of play around again with those color temperatures to balance out the different light and make the scene look really natural. It's portable. It's relatively lightweight for the amount of power it puts out. It's got the binder attachments, and it's just a really, I think the key thing about the Rotolight AEOS that makes it so useful is it's so versatile, and its versatility is really what makes it stand out from other LED panels.
In this shoot, as in many things that we've done here, we did use a Sigma lens. Why did you choose that particular lens?
It's an easy choice of lens, really, for any sort of video production. Like you see these used on anything from something like a GH5, like we were using, all the way to a RED camera or whatever. It's great in low light, which is often a thing we're dealing with more often than photographers are. With video, low light and the ability to really control our aperture is important. And it's Sigma, so it's sharp. Sigma are just famous for having that super sharpness. It's so versatile and it's just so good, everything about it.
And that's something that can be very accessible to consumers, but as we've shown today, can also be used to get these great high-end, high-quality cinematic results as well. So we've just touched base on some of the more technical elements of this production, and now we'd like to flip things across and talk about some of the creative side. Yep. We're very happy to have Mr. Matt Bylett here today, creative director. Matt, the first thing we say is just, wow, the costumes in this production are amazing. What was the inspiration behind?
Thank you. I'd say that a lot of the inspiration sort of comes from, I'd say, almost like cosplay and a lot of sci-fi that is out there.
And how do you think the costumes came across in the film?
I liked the way that it could pick up detail. I liked the way that you felt like you got a full presence of the outfits and of the genre and the feeling.
And Matt, you've worked on a lot of high-end productions. A few of those include... Yeah.
I've worked on many TV shows, things like Xena and Hercules, Farscape. I've done features such as The Dawn Treader, worked on Star Wars, worked on quite a few.
And how would you sort of compare and contrast some of the results that we got using our C.R.Kennedy equipment for this shoot to those major productions?
Logistically, absolutely beautiful. As you said, we had a skeleton crew. One of the logistical nightmares of a big production is the crew, and having that many people and trying to organise them, etc., is a feat in itself. So to be able to do this on a small scale and have that kind of quality. I mean, I've shot ads before where it's only on for 30 seconds and it's taken 3 days to shoot. So it all depends on your content as well and what you want to portray. But yes, very impressed and happy with what we've come up with.
And is there anything you want to highlight about either of the two costumes that were showcased in this movie?
The outfits were high shine, of course, because they were latex, and the other outfit was very, very intricate, had a lot of three-dimensional design and moulded aspects to it. So it was really important to be able to capture both of those. And I mean, the fact that, especially the Cyber Witch was so three-dimensional, the fact that you could totally move it around as desired was just invaluable. I mean, the fact that you didn't have to reset the lights, etc., just saves so much time and energy.
So portable, and you get that flexibility with the battery mic, and then the other thing we always like to talk about with Rotolight is really the ease of use. If you look at the back, you can get all those different effects, different style, just by flicking the switches, changing the color temperature.
It's just a really intuitive system with using only 2 dials, and you can get to all the settings. You can easily flick things around. You can turn it into a flash, as you said. You can put those special effects on, like it has you know, lightning effects, fire effects, and it all just very simple stuff. It's just really flickering the light and all those kinds of things. But we found it really useful for shooting with the costume. You know, we used the lightning effect to sort of create the flashing that you saw in the video, which again is going back to what Matt was talking about, which is really trying to sculpt the costume in the best way possible and, you know, hide the deeper parts of it while illuminating the, you know, more raised parts of it. Or
Keeping that three-dimensional.
Exactly, the three-dimensional side of things.
So Mike, this production would really not have been possible to get that smooth, continuous shoot without using the Zhiyun crane. So why did you choose the Zhiyun crane, and what are some of the product features that you'd like to highlight?
Well, the Zhiyun crane, it's quite small, compact, easy to take around. It comes in a little case that's probably about this big, and you can really easily transport it. It takes very little time to set up, to balance. It can be basically operated by just one person with the camera. It's designed primarily around, you know, flying DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, which is great. That's what we were using. The Crane 2 has a few differences from the original crane. The most important one is the ability to do follow focus. So it has a follow focus adjustment there. So the operator can actually rack focus as they're moving and operating the camera, which is something that generally, you know, in other productions I've been on, where they're using things like steady cams, that's a very complex issue and requires another 2 or 3 people to actually operate a follow focus unit remotely, or the operator has to do it themselves. It distracts them from, you know, focusing on the shot. The ability to get such a well-balanced, smooth shot out of something that's quite small. I mean, you go back a couple of years, you couldn't really get that. You know, gimbals and stuff like that have always been unwieldy, too big. The Crane 2 has so many cool features. It's just an improvement of the original crane, but it does everything that the crane does better.
So we've shown how you can get these really top-class results using some of our favorite products today. Mike, thanks so much for walking us through on the technical element, and Matt, it's a privilege and an honor to have someone of your caliber here and a really beautiful looking movie you guys have put together there. So thank you so much. So for more information on the products that we've showcased today or any of our products, please visit our website at crkphotoimaging.com.au, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.